A child picks up a can of spray paint. He writes 4 words on a school wall. "Your turn, doctor." That child disappears. Days later, he returns, not alive, but broken. His name was Hamza. And with his death, Syria began to bleed. This isn't just a story of war. It's the unraveling of a nation, a cry for freedom, a decade of silence, broken by screams. Syria, ruled by the Assad family since 1971, had a tightly controlled authoritarian government. Hafez al-Assad, a military general, ruled for nearly 30 years. After his death in 2000, his son Bashar al-Assad, a British-educated eye doctor, took power. Despite hopes for reform, Bashar continued the regime's repression, lack of free speech, corruption, and secret police control. Poverty, high unemployment, and drought added to public frustration, especially among youth and rural populations. What started as peaceful protests soon turned into an armed rebellion. Civilians, army defectors, and former officers formed the Free Syrian Army, FSA, to fight back. The regime used tanks, helicopters, and snipers on protesters. Cities like Homs, Aleppo, and Hama became battlegrounds. The war escalated fast, and foreign fighters and militias joined from both sides. By 2013, the war became extremely complex. Syrian government, Assad, backed by Russia, Iran, and Hezbollah. Rebel groups, supported by Turkey, US, Saudi Arabia, Qatar. ISIS, Islamic State, rose from the chaos, captured territory in eastern Syria, and declared a caliphate. Kurdish forces, YPG, fought ISIS and sought autonomy in the north. In August 2013, the Assad regime was accused of using chemical weapons on civilians in Ghouta, near Damascus. Over 1,000 people were killed, including children. The US threatened military action, but a deal was made where Assad agreed to surrender chemical weapons, though later evidence showed continued use. ISIS used the chaos to seize large parts of Syria and Iraq. They declared Raqqa their capital and committed mass atrocities. US-led coalition forces began bombing ISIS positions. The Syrian Kurds, SDF and YPG, with US support, defeated ISIS in much of northeast Syria. By 2019, ISIS had lost almost all territory. In 2015, Russia entered the war directly, launching airstrikes in support of Assad. This marked a major turning point. With help from Iran and Hezbollah, Assad regained control of major cities. Aleppo, 2016, destroyed by heavy bombing. Eastern Ghouta, 2018. Idlib, last rebel stronghold, under siege. Millions were displaced. Civilians paid the highest price. Over 500,000 dead. More than 13 million Syrians displaced. Cities destroyed, basic services collapsed. Millions fled to Turkey, Lebanon, Jordan, and Europe. Assad remains in power, though parts of Syria remain outside his control. Northeast Syria is controlled by Kurdish-led forces. Northwest, Idlib, is under Turkish-backed rebels and extremist factions. Sanctions, poverty, and economic collapse have hit Syria hard. Reconstruction is limited due to international isolation and lack of funds. Some Arab nations, like UAE, Saudi Arabia, have begun restoring ties with Assad. Western countries imposed sanctions on Assad's regime. Russia and Iran helped him survive. The US supported Kurds, but later reduced presence. The UN struggled to mediate peace. Several Geneva talks failed.